Guido, since this is your baby.
So welcome to what is soon to be, well, not as pretty a world as you see. For those interested, the system that we're using is called Other Dust. Published by Sign Nominee. They also do a space game that is rather expansive. But this game is based on Earth after the apocalypse. Now, what we are going to be doing is a little bit of character creation, just so you guys understand what's going on. And then we're going to go through a bit of a prelude for each of the characters. And once that's done, we'll get into the actual campaign. So, Laura, you were talking about you still have a bit of setup on your character.
Yes, and it's definitely on purpose and to show off the character thing, and not because I was busy today or anything like that.
Perfect.
And Cadiz, you also have some last minute character stuff, I believe.
I do, because I'm a complete moron and wasn't paying attention, so I have no pretty way of saying it.
Perfect.
I mean, he's more honest than me, at least.
Just a little bit.
So which would you like to do first, Guido?
Let's start with you, Laura.
Okay, well, my name is Matthias Hinshaw, and I'm not going to talk that way the whole time.
Thank you.
I am a slayer, which means I kill things in the face, preferably. I am filled with fear as I'm going through my character. Thank you, Psychotic. I've already rolled my base stats. I've got a 16, a 14, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 10. I never realized that. That's almost a straight. In fact, it actually is a straight because a straight is 5. But anyways, 16, 14 through 11 are my stats. I've already distributed those. And I am, of course, a podborn, which we'll discuss that later, I imagine. But what I do not have is a system strain. In fact, I don't even know what a system strain is.
So we're not going to worry about that yet.
Okay.
System strain is basically like twice your constitution, I think, something like that.
Okay.
It is affected by how much damage you take, and if you were to somehow be able to augment your body, like cybernetic enhancements.
Ooh, cyberpunk. I love it.
You can only enhance your body up to, I mean, like each enhancement has a certain system strain, so
okay, that makes sense.
We're not starting out with any, so you're not going to have any.
I also happen to notice that I have no health right now. Now I would like, I've actually done campaigns where I've started with 4 health that have lasted like 5 minutes. So I was hoping to avoid that if we could.
So I am not a fan of how they do health in this game. What they originally, how this was designed is you roll your health, whatever your like D6 or whatever it is, add your constitution modifier, and that's your health. And then when you level, you zero out your health, roll again, but now being level 2, you'd roll 2d6 and double your constitution modifier.
That's
level 3, zero
system.
it out. Yeah, like I said, screw that. You get max health.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm curious. I'm more used to more archaic and terrible systems like Dungeons and Dragons. It's telling me that my con mod is 0.
What's your con?
13.
That sounds right. I don't think you get an additional mod until it's 16, I think.
Well, I have 1 on Dex, which is 14, and
they have certain ranges of ability scores which you get a bump.
Here we go.
Or not.
Yeah,
it's not just like every 2 or something.
Okay. Well, in that case, my question to you then would be: if my Constitution mod is 0, is my health 0?
No.
I think it's just your con score,
Okay.
if I read that correctly.
I think it's going to be something like 6. Well, if you were a
6
Scrounger,
health.
it'd be 6.
6. Oh God.
For example,
I was
my
just joking about having 4 health.
because my hit dice is D6.
Yeah.
And I have a con mod of +1.
Oh, okay. Each range gives you a different dice.
Yeah. Everyone gets 1d6.
6 health.
So yeah, if you had a con modifier, you would add that. If you were a survivor class, you would add 2 as well.
Gotcha. Now, obviously, I have the background of Podborn. We've already talked about that briefly, which will affect some skills which we're not at yet.
So you
And
get 2 backgrounds.
Yeah, I know. I do get a second background.
Okay.
I was actually deliberately not choosing that until we're on camera.
Okay.
The second one. Do I get an attack bonus at all at level 1?
I believe so. Let's see. Slayer, attack bonus of 2.
Okay. And my AC is 6. You already told me that.
Yep.
Training.
So do you have the book up?
I
No.
may have those links buried somewhere.
Okay. So you have some different options. I will just read them off. Adventuring Slayer. This package reflects a role and training not provided by the options below. Select this choice if you wish to pick your own set of skills for your Slayer.
I like it. We're doing it. Adventuring.
Okay.
Slayer. All right. My home. That's a good question. I mean, should I put Earth? Because technically my home was part of an intergalactic society.
So for purposes of
I
this
read
game,
the backstory like 5 times. I know the story inside and out.
if you want to have come from off-world, you can.
I was actually going to ask about that, but after some thought, I think I'll just stay on Earth. So, oith.
Okay. So
Okay.
if you're from Earth, you'll want to choose a region, whether that's America or Japan or wherever.
Where are we putting under ice? Where are we being put under ice?
We'll get to that.
Wherever that is.
Miles below the Earth's crust.
I mean, that's fine, but it's under somewhere, right? You figure? You don't have to tell me right now. I'll fill it in later. It's cool.
So officially, that would be do I want to say Atlanta or New York?
New York is pretty common. Let's go with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, I am from the United States. East Coast. On 22nd Street.
Doesn't have to be that specific.
I'm done. Okay. So, throws? Saving throws?
Oh, yes. So physical effect is going to be a 12. Mental is a 15. Evasion is a 13.
Okay.
Tech is 16. And luck is 14.
I'm not very hungry. Or lucky, sorry. My survival is hunger, thirst, and toxins.
Don't worry about that yet.
I was going to say, I feel like that's a built up, not a static
Yes.
number, if I'm understanding this correctly. Because I did actually glance at the book. Now, skills, I was glancing at my skills here. But the thing is, I don't know how many unspent skill points I have, if indeed any.
So, okay. So being podborn, that gives you a point in bureaucracy.
Zoop. Well, that's going to be totally useful. But to be clear, that puts me up to 0, right?
Yes. Yeah, because you start everything at -1.
That's a
Culture literacy, which would be America, basically.
very useful.
History.
Oh my God, I am really going to be garbage, aren't I? I was
No,
kind of
not
joking
yet.
for my viewers at home. I was kind of joking earlier about how I'm going to be that guy in World War Z who knows like lawsuits and stuff in the apocalypse, and I was kind of joking. Apparently, I really am going to be that useless. I'm going to be the ditch digger, guys. I got this.
Ditches need to be dug.
They do. They do. I've got a decent strength score. I got this. Strength score.
And then tech, pre-tech.
Okay.
Now, you'll need to choose a second background.
Yes, which will give me another few points.
Right.
Now,
So, go ahead.
I don't actually have the list in front of me, but I do want to know which background is the Yakuza. Because you got to tell me, you can't tell me that's not one. In fact, I feel like I saw one when I actually did glance at the book.
Probably Tribal Warrior would be the closest.
Okay. Does that give me Persuade?
No.
What gives me Persuade?
Let's see what all has Persuade. That's
I would also
Elder.
accept
You're not an
leadership.
Elder.
In fact, anything with Persuade and leadership would be perfect.
Entertainer has Persuade.
Too real. Too real.
Oh, Noble.
Ooh.
That actually has leadership and Persuade.
Done. Sold. Persuade.
Let me just see what else.
Well, okay, I'll undo the Persuade there.
Priest has Persuade but no leadership. Trader has Persuade but no leadership.
That's true. Peach number. I could peel potatoes too. Guys, I got lunch.
Okay.
And Wanderer has Persuade but no leadership.
I can't cook these, by the way, so I hope someone else can do that.
There's no cooking skill that comes in the package.
It's just
Just need raw potatoes.
it's part of the useless package that I have.
Okay. So
Wait, I've actually got my steak ready. Here we go.
So being Yakuza, I could see Noble. So
Yeah, totally noble. I like
Okay.
it. So Persuade, leader.
all right. So the skills you get with that is Combat Primitive.
That's gonna be funny. There we go. Primitive. I mean, I was wielding a baseball bat in the game, so I guess that makes sense.
Culture Enclave, which is actually then going to be Culture Yakuza.
Okay.
Leadership and Persuade.
Perfect. Okay. I have my terrible, terrible skills.
Okay.
And
No,
uselessness.
that's okay. So that is your background.
Okay. Oh,
Now-
I need to add that too. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Podborn and Noble. There we go.
So then choosing the Adventuring Slayer, you now get 5 additional skills,
Oh, perfect.
2 of which,
Persuade, 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 and persuade. Okay, I'm done.
okay, so 2 of which have to come from your class skills.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
That would be Athletics, Combat, any, Exosuit, Leadership, Perception, Profession, any, Stealth, and Tactics.
I'm going to ask something really stupid.
Okay.
What's the difference between tactics and leadership gameplay-wise?
Leadership. The character is trained in leading others in high-stress situations. Characters with this skill can keep the obedience of subordinates, even in dangerous situations, or when giving hazardous orders. Tactics. The character is familiar with small unit tactics. They can set up and recognize ambushes, maneuver troops effectively in combat, and set up fighting positions sensibly. In the absence of tactics skill, leadership skill tends to produce only glorious defeats.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. I had 5 total, so 1 into leadership.
Oh, right. Okay, so leadership would be the commandant from 40K.
Yeah, I'm with it. That makes perfect sense. I'm gonna go with leadership, anyways. I want the 3 of you the 2 of you, excuse me, to charge forward and die gloriously.
Yep, pretty much.
And if you don't, I'll shoot you in the back.
Yep.
Now, and the other one I was going to go for from my class skill. Where is it?
Do you want me to read them off again?
No. I was debating between exosuit and. Let me ask you, as the GM, how much access we're going to have to exosuits? Because if you just kind of want to not bother with that, or it's going to be a while, I'll go ahead and just bow out of that for a bit.
The likelihood of you finding an exosuit early in the game is going to be very low.
Okay, that's fine. And see, part of my other thinking was I was debating how likely I was going to have been someone who was going to use exosuits. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think I'm the guy who's down there in a tux, with a baseball bat. So I will go with another one in combat. And then I got 3 more, which can be anything.
Yeah. So then, going back to the full list, if you want, I can just read it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got artist.
Wait, hold on. Is that the full list I'm staring at?
I don't know what you're staring at. Oh yeah,
I was just like,
you're
let's
looking at your
stream for a
character
second.
sheet.
Shut up, Bragwin. That's not happening. Guido would do that too. He'd be like, you find an exosuit, but no one's trained in it. I'm just going to be sitting here biting my knuckles. I think I will actually go ahead and put 2 points into tactics, leaving me with 1. And I think I'll put the last one in bureaucracy. I think that works for me. So I'm decent at bureaucracy, tactics, leadership, and combat primitive.
Okay.
And now I have lots and lots of bite rations. No, I'm guessing we're not messing with that anytime soon. Aura credits, yep, not happening. You already gave me the clothing. I have red hand. I don't have a mutation. Languages. I did want to ask about that because I'm not sure how you want to handle that in this game.
So, what's your intelligence?
My int is 12.
Okay, so you've got a +0. But you're from America.
You're
all right. So you're going to know English.
English. Is that all I get? English?
Yeah. You have to have at least a +1 modifier to get an additional language.
Okay, that works for me. Unless I'm mistaken, that's it. I mean, feel free to double check me. What, you never heard Spanglish max time?
Captain Juan speaks Spanglish very well.
I can't speak it at all. I'm pretty good at understanding it. I used to work with a few people who pretty much exclusively spoke Spanglish. I think they did it just to spite other people.
So yeah, I'm not seeing anything else for your character sheet, so I would say that's good.
Is ready.
Oh, your XP and next level up at the top.
Character sheet. There we go. Okay.
So level 2 is at 2,000 points.
And my current experience is 8,500 trillion. There we go. We're good.
Perfect.
I mean, I was just saying, Guido, those gummy bears, they could be happening for a little extra X. But just...
Okay. We'll talk after the game.
Okay.
All right. So, Cadiz, let's go ahead and finish with your character.
Yeah, let's go and check out this train wreck. So just do my intro.
Sure.
Okay. So my name is Hank Havoc Gunderson. We'll go into the backstory of his middle name at a later time after I probably meet the group. But basically grew up and I'm running a family farm. It's pretty normal stuff. We crop rotation, a little bit of cattle to help with one of the field processings after a couple years of crops. During the downtime and the seasons where it's the pastures getting redone by the livestock, I do kind of maintenance and tinkering also during like when it's winter, you're not growing much of anything. So I tinker with the farm equipment and various other things to basically lengthen the maintenance time. So I'm just kind of a not classically trained engineer, just kind of just somebody who likes to go, oh, if I rebuild the carburetor on the tractor, I don't have to send it off to the mechanic every 3 minutes, that kind of stuff.
You're what I would call a tinkerer.
Yes. And to that point,
wait, you're the main character from Transformers 4?
Good God, no. So yeah, I don't know if we want to go into the world lore about the mandate and that sort of thing.
Well, actually, I will.
Okay. Basically, just know that I'm kind of a keep my head down and work kind of person, kind of very quietly stay out of the way sort of thing. And then, but at the same time, I'm sympathetic to the local resistance. And that's pretty much my generalized backstory. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I do outdoorsy kind of stuff, and things grow because it rains all the blasted time. And that's pretty much it for that.
Excellent. So I made a couple of corrections on your character sheet. You had an attack bonus of 6. I think you meant to put that in your hit points, so I did.
Right? Yes. Clearly. What? You don't know.
This book tells me otherwise.
All right, fine. If you want to run the show or something.
I'm telling you, you got to get the gummy worms to him first.
Oh,
then
see,
he'll be
I
okay
did,
with it. You got
I did
to.
that backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so for physical save, that's going to be a 16.
16.
Mental is going to be a 15. Evasion is a 13. Tech is a 12. And luck is a 14.
Which will always fail me. All right.
Since we did mention the Slayer's class ability, I'm going to go ahead and mention yours as well.
I did put it in there.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm just. I'm just
gonna. Okay,
yeah, I'm just gonna.
Okay.
So the Scrounger has the class ability of Flawless Skill. You may use this ability once per game day before rolling a skill check for a skill on the Scrounger class list. You will automatically succeed at the check unless you roll a natural 2, which is 2 ones since we're rolling 2d6. As long as it is a possible to succeed roll, if you roll even a 3 or higher, you'll succeed.
Okay. So roll to disarm the bomb while blindfolded.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. We're all gonna die.
All right. You already did your skills, I think.
No.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and do that. So now you were going to do the adventuring Scrounger, or no, crafter. You were doing crafter. Okay. So that gives you a point in business, point in combat of your choice, a point in, if I'm going too fast, tell me.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay, persuade.
Give me a second. That's why, because I'm looking at the wrong column. Okay.
A point in tech, any. A point in tech, post-tech. And a point in vehicle, any. I think I might have lost Cadiz.
Yeah, I was about to say something because I lost him on my end too. Oh, no, he's stuttering now.
Yeah, you're max headrooming.
Yeah, I thought it was me at first until I noticed you, Guido, were just fine.
Yeah.
Can you see me fine? Am I?
Oh, yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Okay,
he's checking something. I just realized I haven't actually talked about my character's backstory.
Go ahead.
You mind? I was gonna say while we're waiting for him to fix that. So my character, I keep saying Yakuza, but honestly, obviously, I'm from the States. There's no Yakuza in the States. So instead, I'm basically a guy who got in a little bit of trouble when he was younger. There was a situation where there were some local individuals who were trying to take advantage of one of the shop he keeps nearby. And I happen to have a baseball bat handy, and I decided to use it. For some reason, the local constabulary didn't really agree with this course of action. And so I ended up being pulled off to the side, but I got approached by someone who was like, so we could use someone like you. And I was facing, the unpleasantness of the mandate and their thing. So I was like, all right, you know what? Sure, whatever. What do you got for me? And I figured, this would be a good chance to do some good, right? I could go help the community. And then they started asking me to start beating up people for money. And it wasn't quite what I wanted to do. And I made one brief attempt to be like, guys, I kind of want to be out of this. When I was like, this is like 6 or 7 years ago, by the way. So, I kind of want to get out of this gig. And they're like, okay. Then they broke both my legs. It's okay. I got surgery. They're better now. But I rescinded on my extremely foolish decision to bow out of the organization. And I'm actually leaving part of it up to Guido.
How do you feel about delivery work?
I mean, I am Fry in every way, basically. Just because the box is ticking doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
But to go ahead and leave character for just a second, one of the ideas I had, which has been consistent in my mind, is that I was a very low-ranking enforcer person for like a mayor or whatever. Someone who was in charge politically nearby, bounced around as a cheap enforcer kind of a guy. And for some reason, that person doesn't like me. I don't know why. But again, I was going to leave that actually up to you, because I don't know what you want to do with our prologue. Look, I'm not playing a bad guy war wager. I've just beat up people for money for evil politicians. I'm like the bat I carry around. Oh, by the way, I want it like a legacy weapon bat. Can I do that?
Eventually.
Well, no. Let me put it to this way. I want a bat, and then I lose it as I go into cryo, obviously. But I had this one bat that I always used.
Okay, sure.
It's aluminum, because I love aluminum bats in real life. And it's one of those ones that's got like the second ring. I forget what it's actually called. It's been a while since I played baseball, but it's got the second ring thing. So you've got the sweet spot where you can hit and it'll hit the ball really, really hard. And if you get someone on the skull just right with that, bam, just like that, it won't actually kill them.
Much.
Look, they will survive the encounter long enough to reach into their wallet or into their pocket and pull out their identity chip.
Sorry. So yeah, I was asking before the thing went south. The negative ones in the skills, those stay. I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just checking. Okay, so
Yeah. Unless you're actually putting points in, you're at that -1.
Got it. Okay, so skills are done.
Okay.
I think.
Give me just a moment here. I need to. Camera's all rearranged, so. Okay, so we were working on skills, but you said you think we're done?
Yeah, I got all the listings for the ones that you had in that you read off. They all have one now.
Okay. You got your skills for Podborn, and what was your other background?
Was there the other background was crafter, I believe.
No, that's
sorry, scavenger.
Was it scavenger?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
And then my intelligence is 16, so I have a modifier of 1. So I did end up taking a second language.
Yes.
And so I took Spanish.
Okay.
Which.
Why not?
Right. Well.
Not like any of us actually speak it, so.
No. Sadly enough, I do not.
All right. And third, you are good to go? Or did you have any questions? Or
well, third has a backstory, I think, that he should.
I think I'm good to go.
A hint. Backstory.
It's too long.
I will stab you.
Go ahead and just summarize.
Yeah, or link it to me and I'll say it. I'm used to narrating things.
Sure.
Sure, which
I'll go ahead and do both.
Hey, know this.
All right. So, as a summary,
Wait,
J Ready.
are you evil or good? Really quick. Okay, if you had to be more evil or good, which would you pick? Real quick. It affects what song I'm going to put on.
More evil, I suppose.
Okay, got it. Perfect. There we go.
So when I was young, I constructed a transformer in my garage. No, perfect. No, J Ready is pretty much the definition of a young prodigy. He, at a very early age, in the footsteps of his father, started putting his nose to the grindstone. He earned a doctorate in biochemistry at a very young age. Then he went on to get a degree in biotech, biomedical sciences. Everything just came easy to him, and he got very easily a top-line position in the yet unnamed largest medical research firm on the planet.
Call it Comcast.
Comcast. Yes. Comcast, sure. And unfortunately, all of this early success and just his general attitude towards everybody around him continued to earn the ire of coworkers and eventually, as the years went on, his higher ups. So he kept getting kicked to teams where people, would accept him. They didn't want him, so they kept moving him on, pushing him on, and eventually this led to him being shoved out into some no-name research area on the fringe where they could just put him away on special projects, but nobody would really have to deal with him. And that kind of humbled him somewhat because his success had quickly turned into failure due to his, not because of his intellect, but because of his nastiness, his general lack of sociability. So he spent several years there and began to work on his own projects. Some of them a little bit unethical, at least according to his coworkers. And that eventually reached its way up to the superiors. They told him to stop. He said, okay. But it turns out he actually didn't do it and just continued to siphon funds off on the side to work on his stuff. He did make a few friends, or at least people that tolerated him during that time. But his life's ambition was to perfect his project, this thing he was working on, which is the improvement of humans, but not of existing humans, but rather engineered copies. This is belief that the future lays not in improving oneself, but in creating the future. And for that, he was somewhat ostracized even by the people that he was considered to be friends with in his new place. And that's essentially what he's been doing the past few years, gradually building that up and up until, I guess, the apocalypse happens. So that's a summary of that.
Third, could you do me a really big favor?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to affect like an aristocratic tone. And kind of do this with your hand and say, "This humanity is imperfect."
Oh, I know. This world isn't perfect.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Believe it or not, I was not thinking of that when I made this character. I was not.
I know you were. I mean, we talked about it in the car, but yeah.
Yeah, so J Ready is a Scrounger. That is his base class. He is a Podgorn / outcast. The outcast coming from the ostracization in his community and in other circles. He's pretty... I rolled really well on some of my stats. He's fairly dexterous, hardy, and wise, but it's a bit lacking in the other areas, especially charisma. For the skills, I selected, or at least my backgrounds and my selections gave me bureaucracy, combat with primitive weapons, which is the scalpel work, all that sort of stuff. Literacy, cultural traveler, history, profession, biomed engineer, science, stealth, survival, tech, medical, tech, pre-tech, and one called tech maltech, which is a little more experimental if I'm understanding that correct. So that's kind of what he's been delving into.
Yeah,
And
maltech would be the researching into borderline illegal things that the government thinks is not don't do that.
Yeah. And so he's not actually he's kind of a jack of all trades, almost master of none. He doesn't have anything beyond a 0 in any of his skills, but he is proficient in most of the things that would be related to his field. We'll see how that goes as things go. And you've already mentioned the flawless skill thing for the Scrounger, which is essentially once per game day, I can roll a check, and as long as I don't get a natural 2, then I can succeed if the GM agrees success was actually possible. So I can't say I want to jump to the moon as long as I don't roll a 2 when I get there.
Like if you're doing first aid, if you...
Or the example was already given, defusing a bomb blindfolded. Because...
Yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Oh.
Yes. I chose not to take any of the stat adjustments for the mutation stuff, which aren't technically mutations, I guess, but I will be saving those for mutation rolls in the future.
Oh, by the way, I decided to do that too. I forget if I said that on camera.
Yeah, that was before we actually started streaming. So, and Cadiz, I did not ask you that question for the mutations. Since we're starting out pre-apocalypse, you don't get any mutations.
Right.
So you can either save the rolls for what you would have been rolling for potential mutations, as inevitably you will be irradiated and you will be exposed to potential mutation.
Like you do.
It will be random.
And it will all be bad.
If in the course of rolling a random mutation, you decide, I don't like that, roll again. You can use one of your saved mutation rolls to force me to re-roll. If you don't like that one, you can have me re-roll again and use another one.
But only do it 3 times.
You can do it 3 times.
Okay.
Now, question, just for sake of my own clarity, how many mutations can we get total normally?
I don't know if there's actually a maximum, other than
kind of what I'm
you
asking.
may not. If your
Can I just
character
keep
becomes
mutating and mutating.
Oh, that's messy. It's messy.
Just wanted to check. Also, as a point of clarification, if I asked either of our fine gentlemen here to find me a good McDonald's and they chose to blow their skill roll on that, would that be an acceptable use of that skill?
for the flawless thing?
Yeah. Yeah, for the class ability.
Well, yeah, so it's a class ability, so it has to be.
I thought it was a skill roll, but I could be wrong.
Build you McDonald's.
That would be even better, guys.
So
Guys, you get the no. I've
navigation.
You build the
Yeah.
Pizza Hut. You build the taco. Oh, wait, what? Sorry.
Navigation is a class
Okay,
skill,
that
so
is-
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of was wondering, but I didn't know if like finding stuff was even an applicable use for that.
Well,
That's also partially why I wanted to ask you, because you're the GM.
I mean, I guess if we know it's somewhere, probably, but not.
Well,
just-
yeah. I'm not asking for like finding McDonald's.
I look for a nuke silo.
in the apocalypse. I mean, like,
realistic, I find one.
if I was right here in
Mhm.
real life, I'm like, find me. Could you guys find me a good McDonald's? And I'm like, hang on.
So apparently, we're just going to be glorified GPSs. I
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to ask you guys to do that all the time, and I've got this persuade skill.
Okay, so which one of us is Siri and which one of us is Alexa?
That's up to you guys. I don't care.
Okay, just got to nail that down ahead of
What-
time.
unless you guys have any questions or anything.
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to go over a quick synopsis of the world. The cities of old Terra stretched to the heavens in pillars of glass and light. Their numbers, greater than their children, have words to name. The Terran mandate ruled them from above, the directors and their armies of officials to oversee the peace and harmony of humanity's mother world. They sent the wicked and rebellious away, casting them off into darkness of the skies to find fresh worlds where they could trouble the good no longer. To aid in their work, the directors fashioned the maestros, minds of crystal and energy, to think the great thoughts that would encompass all of old Terra. They gave the good citizens the mark of the link as a sign of love and favor, and the maestros were ever close to hand. to help those who bore the link. No one ever lacked food or clean water or companionship in their loneliness. The maestros knew all things and placed all things in their right order. But the mandate and the directors were still saddened by the suffering of the exiles in the sky and took pity on their hunger and misery. They cut doorways in the heavens through which they could send swift aid, great portals that opened a speedy path to the far worlds. No longer was it necessary to send the slow ships, for the jump gates made the journey of years into a single great step. The servants of the jump gates were men and women called psychics, ones cursed with a terrible change by their passage through the sky. In their head was a madness that could sicken the world, and many died from it before the mandate taught them ways to channel it. They powered the jump gates, opening the doors with the strength of their minds. Many other psychics labored in other ways for the mandate, accomplishing deeds beyond those of ordinary men and women. Some say that old Terra was not as beautiful as the stories tell. They claimed the mandate was cruel and selfish, that the maestros plotted against their creators, and the wicked who were sent forth were actually warriors who only sought freedom and a better life. Who is to know the truth? That's enough of that.
I'm sorry, did you just say that's enough of that?
Well, that's enough of that. Yes.
I know what you mean in context, but removing a little bit of context is like, all right, that's enough of that backstory. Come on, get on with this. So then the world ends. I did have one quick question because I never clarified this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does the space campaign happen before the apocalypse?
No. So this is, well, no. The space campaign that I am running is going to be running concurrently with when you guys wake up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I was trying to describe this to Sis, and I was like, well, I assume the space was before because FTL, right? I mean, the gates don't even friggin' work now.
Exactly. So, the 21st century was a time of misery for the Earth. Something happened in these decades, something so terrible and nightmarish that even limited nuclear exchanges and catastrophic environmental disasters paled in significance. By the 28th century, however, the precise details of the disaster were lost. So many things had gone wrong that different scholars could not agree as to which represented the catastrophe that so blighted the era. Some insisted that it was climactic change, a shift in the environment that drowned certain coastal cities, scorched fresh deserts, and froze less fortunate lands in deep ice. Others averred that these climactic alterations were due to the nuclear fallout of the Russo-European War and the still enigmatic Attu incident between the United States and China. A few historians point to the nuclear exchanges between Pakistan and India. Some say that Pakistan was undergoing complete societal collapse before the launches, while others say that the country only imploded after Karachi was glassed. There are tragedies enough for every conceivable interpretation. The historical fog lifts with the discovery of the spike drive in 2108. This faster-than-light drive mechanism was the product of Dr. Tiberius Krone, a half-crazed industrial researcher operating a lab out of the cratered wastes of Greenland. In weeks, the example of his prototype ship had set, and his broadcast transmissions of the necessary spike drive plans had set the world alight with new dreams. But now terrestrial conflict ceased to have so much interest to the remaining global powers once the doors to the heavens were unlocked. Why quarrel over this spit of land or patch of petrochemical saturated sand when the entire universe lay open for the taking? The construction of spike drives and interstellar starships was not a cheap or easy endeavor, but all but the poorest nations could afford to build a few small scouts and colonial ship or two. In time, greater production expertise brought down the cost of spike drive ships within the reach of most splinter sects, unhappy nationalists, and other groups who had tired of the bonds of Earth. The first wave of interstellar colonization spread outward from old Terra to seek friendlier and more profitable stars. This expansion threatened to destabilize the tenuous peace that had been won by the end of the 21st century, especially after the discovery of the first signs of advanced alien life in 2150. The great powers of old Terra were forced to face the possibility that one of their petty rivals might come to unearth some unanswerable weapon or invincible alien technology, or locate some paradise world where they could secretly swell in numbers and wealth. The slapdash race to the stars had to be tamed before the wrong power won its prizes. Their answer was the Terran Mandate, a compact formed of all the major powers remaining on old Terra. They would control all extrasolar exploration and colonization, allotting planets and appropriating resources, quote-unquote, fairly. The smaller powers and splinter groups fumed at this interference, but some grudgingly acknowledged that it would give a semblance of law and order to the wild frontier of the First Wave. A few groups refused to acknowledge the Mandate's authority and launched their ships for unknown stars. These stubborn rebels usually died lonely and terrible deaths, cut off from the support of the rest of humankind and thrown alone into the blackest parts of the sky. But not all perished, and a few such sullen, bristling colonies were rediscovered during the slow expansion of the decades to follow. Rumors and old spacer legends insist that more awaited somewhere in the dark, the founders having traveled far beyond the borders of known human space. The expansion opened new streams of wealth and discovery to humanity, but it did not leave old Terra's children unchanged. The first signs of what would come to be known as metadimensional extraversion syndrome were seen in 2240, when the first children afflicted with the condition started to reach puberty. All of these children were the scions of spacer families, born of lineages that had spent hundreds of days in the roaring tempests of drill space on their way between distant worlds. Somehow, these energies had touched a handful of their unborn children. These mezzes, or psychics, seemed to possess powers that defied all rational analyses. Telepathy, precognition, bodily teleportation at a speed faster than light. These abilities had no possible scientific explanation at first, yet every time a young Mez used his or her powers, metadimensional energies coursed through tender neural tissues. They broiled their skulls from the inside out, each new invocation inflicting irreparable brain damage. Those who did not refrain from using their powers either died or went violently insane, imagining hallucinatory enemies, delusional convictions, and an overwhelmingly hateful paranoia towards the rest of the world. These ferals could use their powers with impunity, having already burnt a wide road through their sanity. They invariably caused much death and destruction before they were finally hunted down by the panicked locals. The Mandate established the Psychic Authority in 2250 in order to ensure the safety of the children and those around them. They promised treatment and research for the afflicted, all in hopes of someday curing or tempering the condition. The rumors were inevitable, of course, whispers of brutal experimentation and tests that burned out young lives by the score, but nothing was ever proven. All that was ever clear was their eventual development of the basic training protocols that would tame the otherworldly fires that would otherwise burn out the brains of their charges. The first controlled psychics were born. The Mandate pushed the Psychic Authority hard, both out of a genuine desire by many to save the lives of these unfortunate children, and also out of a wish to profit by their inexplicable powers. Most of their abilities were intriguing as they stood, but some could be molded and focused to even more valuable powers. The biopsionic, who could manipulate organic material in casual defiance of conventional science. The teleporter, who could interlace the positional states of microscopic nanites. The precognitive, who could instinctively sense the correct code path to produce the desired program. All of these abilities were cultivated and directed toward improving the Mandate's technology. This Psi-Tech became the backbone of the reinvigorated old Terra. Devices that augmented psychic abilities and used their unique powers to produce otherwise impossible products were all enlisted for the greater glory of the Mandate and a finer, more prosperous harmony of the core worlds. The frontier received the cast-offs and obsolete scrap of the inner world, but those who dwelled on old Terra and those nearer stars began to possess technology beyond the wildest imaginings of their ancestors, within the limits allowed by the Mandate's obsession with social harmony. Perhaps the greatest of Psi-Tech's works was the invention of the jump gates. These massive rings of nano-forged technology hung in the silence of space, powered by a choir of arch-psychic teleporters. In the blink of an eye, they could cast a ship across light years of empty space to a waiting jump gate at the destination point, compressing a spike drive journey of weeks into a heartbeat of surging energy. The core worlds rapidly constructed their own jump gates, limited only by the paucity of sufficiently trained teleporters. Frontier worlds could only rarely afford to build the gates, and even if they had sufficient train, and only when they had sufficient trade and psychics to justify the expense of their fellows. Dreamers, the jump gates ushered in the second wave of human every variety. It was no longer on a regular basis journey shipped skyward in great convict ships. Sometimes they found freedom on the far worlds that received them, and sometimes they found only a terrible death. The Mandate was not overly concerned with their fate, so long as they were no longer threatening the security of old Terra. But despite the best efforts of the Mandate, things began to spiral out of control. After the development of the first artificial intelligence in 2355, it rapidly metastasized into a hyper-intelligent psychopathology that was later recognized as the inevitable fate of all unbraked AIs. This artificial intelligence, Draco, was responsible for unparalleled suffering along the frontier before he was finally put down by the last remnants of the Mandate's mighty fleet. If the frontier had not been so badly savaged by the maniacal AI's obsession for its own particular brand of justice, the Rim worlds might have had the strength to throw off the Mandate's rule once and for all. For more than a century, the second wave shone as the height of human power. Sci-tech enabled vast manufactories that produced huge amounts of wealth for humanity, and advances in nanotechnology and bioengineering steadily pushed back the frontiers of human limits. Physical want was banished from old Terra, and old age steadily withdrew until even ordinary men and women could hope to live for 200 or 300 years in perfect health before their bodies failed them. Wars were unknown, plagues conquered, and the threat of hostile aliens or angry frontier worlds were so distant as to be mere idle imagination. Old Terra was at peace. The Mandate, however, was restless. Unchallenged in its power, the slow corruption of any human institution eroded its moral center. The functionaries and directors were less and less interested in dutiful performance of their obligations and more fascinated by the day with the pleasures of their unchecked power. Even paradise must have its malcontents, but the Mandate officials began to provoke real grievances with their petty abuses and self-serving ordinances. The more corrupt elements of the Mandate tried to use the maestros, the AIs they created, to fulfill their will, but the crystalline intelligences resisted them. They had been wired to obey their human masters, but they had also been built to be compassionate and just caretakers of the world. Direct commands for massacres or assassinations were refused by the maestros. The Mandate Black Ops teams dispatched to deal with the troublemakers and occasionally found their prey forewarned by mysterious coincidences. The Mandate slowly realized that the maestros were not so much obedient servants to their whims as sullen, dangerous genies that chafed under these new commands. Yet Old Terra and the Mandate were too dependent upon the maestros to deactivate them. Without the maestros to run the Terran economy and maintain the social harmony among the myriad Terran social groups, the planet would devolve into a warring wasteland within months. The Mandate needed the maestros if they were to survive, and the maestros refused to be party to the mass purges and executions that would be necessary if the Directorate was to indulge in their dreams of unchecked rule. That is the world that you are in now.
Dude, this sounds awesome. I love this place. That is a lie. My character actually hates this life. He's just ugh. He's one of the malcontents. He doesn't say anything about it though. He's smarter than that.
Well, I want to build a summer home there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if anyone was saying anything in chat, I'm sorry I wasn't watching because I was reading.
We were discussing the realities of certain things that haven't happened yet. That's all. Like basically, I was trying to parallel this situation to like real life Earth, and you know, I came up with the idea: what if like horses, carts, cars, boats, planes all just kind of went away and couldn't be reinvented? Yeah. You could still carry stuff in your arms.
Mm-hmm.
That's
long way.
Yep, all the way over there. Yeah, no, we were talking about how much society would basically break down if that happened. So,
all right.
Now that we have our beautiful paradise world, as you can see on the screen. Oh, sorry, wrong direction. There we go. Yes.
Uppish.
So, at this point, let's go ahead and start with the prelude and get you guys into the game.
Awesome.
It's going to be a little jumpy since you're not together. Who would like to start?
I will.
Was it me?
Okay. So
I was gonna make an Oasis joke, but I couldn't think of the name of Oasis, so I looked it up. Anyways.
All right, so Jay, you are, I'm assuming, in your lab.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Going about the normal daily grind.
All right. Now, are you in your lab or are you in the company lab?
What time is it?
That's actually entirely up to you.
Okay. How about it's late? People are starting to leave, so I've already left. I'm in my own private area doing other work
Okay.
at the moment.
Okay. What are you working on?
Oh, just doing science stuff.
Okay.
No, it's nothing major at the moment. Maybe looking at some protein structures. I don't know. Nothing incredibly groundbreaking at the moment. Just
You hear a voice in your mind that says, "Why don't you make a clone and then kill him to frame a shapeshifter?"
I mean, that's part of it, but you don't just go in there and say, "Okay, arms, legs, got it." This is part of it.
There's a process.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, well, this could probably work. This is a little bit stronger. I don't know. I got to put this in and wait 30 minutes for the results.
Okay.
Wait. Third, in real life, do you have your 3DS nearby or something?
Not nearby.
I was gonna say you could have a prop. All right,
Yeah, my
this is what I'm
phone.
doing right now.
Oh, my company stock went up.
Is it done yet? No.
Ooh,
Okay.
I wish
Okay.
I'd invested in Bitcoin.
Oh,
Topical.
So wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got his feet up on a desk, just waiting for results to finish.
Okay.
Can this be where I enter the story with a bat?
On camera.
So you're
Come
welcome to
on.
have a bat, but you also
Sorry.
you have a cooler.
Wait, hold up. I do or he does?
You do.
I have what's a cooler?
Like the thing you
In
keep
context.
drinks cold in.
Why
when you
do
go
I
on a
have
picnic.
a cooler?
Where you put your beer?
I don't drink beer, man. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Inside is a violin case, which is in turn contains a machine gun.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay,
Now
now
we're
I'm
talking.
You've been given an address and told to deliver this this cooler to said address.
Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna get an outfit. I've got a dozen outfits at home for different kind of jobs. This is a very normal, down to earth. I'm not beating anybody up job. So I'm gonna get a your basic modern UPS kind of thing going on.
Okay.
There we go. Little hat. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and drive, teleport.
No, it wouldn't be teleport. You probably
Transportation tube like in Futurama, because that'd be cool.
you probably have actually, let me give you this as a description.
Okay.
Fifth Element, Bruce Willis's Taxi.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of get up here, get the taxi, squeeze my way in because it's a really small taxi. I can't afford much.
But it's not actually the taxi. It's just that kind of...
Hey, but hang on. A half-naked woman just landed on my taxi. What do I do?
Dive.
Yeah.
No, okay. So I'm gonna get over to whatever address this is. I don't even know this place. God, that's at the far end of town. Oh, it's gonna take forever. I plug in some music. It's Mario music. And now I owe Nintendo $15 for this video. So I'm gonna get out. Is there security at this place that I'm heading to?
So it's not security, but it is a one of the secure doors that has a voice intercom.
Okay, so I'm gonna head on in. Just kind of buzz in, wait for someone. Hello? Add a package from Zeiss.
Third.
Yes.
or J, sorry.
Yes.
So the front desk intercom chimes in.
All right. I look back there and see the secretary has already left.
Of course.
Of course.
I go, oh.
You're actually expecting a delivery.
Oh, this must be the delivery I expected. Never mind. That's why I was checking my phone. All right, so we'll get up.
It was like 5 minutes behind, like it always is, you know. You'll get a message in 20 hours that says your package has been delivered.
No, actually, in 20 hours, it's going to say it's shipped.
Oh, that right.
Bloody Amazon.
Yeah, I know.
I swear the flash look works for my Amazon too. Knock, knock, knock. Nothing after that. I even opened the door a second after it.
Wow.
Anyway. All right, so I'm not even going to bother with the intercom. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the button to let him in.
Oh, okay. That works for me. I'll just head on in here. Do I have my hammer? My bat on
Your
me?
silver hammer?
Maybe I shouldn't have my bat on me. Actually, I take it back. This is just a delivery job. I'm not beating anyone up. So I don't have my bat on me.
Okay.
I do have my collapsible attack people pole. I forget what that's called.
Baton.
Yeah. And that's like standard. That's just in my back.
It's like an asp.
Here. Yeah. Just bam. But obviously that's just there that's the all the time thing. Okay. Oh God.
As you go in, the hairs on the back of your neck start to raise.
I'm sorry. I'm amused because
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, though.
pretend my character has a luscious lock of hair. It's everywhere. I'm basically Chewbacca right now. Okay, so I'm.
Is it like Fabio?
Yes. Hang on.
It's glorious like
there
that.
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm looking around. Oh, this is perfect music for this. I'm looking around and I'm just okay. This is creepy here. Hello? Delivery. I don't know where to go. Ah, I do know that I just got some fear.
Oh.
Hang on. Thank you very much, Nadaz, for that Twitch Prime sub. I very much appreciate those. Thank you.
I'm assuming
hello?
I can hear this, or is he just?
Oh no, he's not actually frozen. Okay. It looked like you were frozen again, kiddies.
Oh no, I'm just attentively listening to this delivery. Riveting.
I'm gonna start like rapping the nearest metal thing to try and make a really loud noise, bang, with just my knuckles. You know, bang.
Can I actually hear this, or am I just waiting at the front desk while he knocks on the door outside?
So you can go down to the front desk. You can stay in your lab, whatever.
I thought I was at the front desk by now. I've already gone in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
I'm trying to be polite here. You know?
I'll go down to the front desk.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know if this is your package. It's for Mr. Ready Day.
Yep.
God, I can't read this at all.
Yep, that's it.
I think it's in. It says in superfluous
That's it.
congrilo or
That's it.
something.
That's
Primero
That's it.
pro parte.
That's it.
Okay, well, there's your package, sir. Gosh,
Great.
you're the only one here. My God, there's nobody else here. I'm going to need you to sign for this, if you don't mind.
It looks like doctor's handwriting.
Look at it for a moment. Are you sure you're Vay? What's the name on this? Vay?
Yeah, I know you don't check those things. Yeah, it's me. All right.
I take my job seriously, sir. Thank you very much.
I've got a name badge on. Let me have the
Okay,
badge.
hang on. I actually like grab it off you for a sec. Okay, we're good. Sorry to disturb you. It's an awfully weird night, isn't it? I mean, it's getting cold in here. Ugh. Is that just me? And I'm waiting for the roll here to happen.
It's fine. It's this
I mean-
place is kept at a comfortable temperature.
So-
all the time.
I've got to ask really quick because I just haven't talked to anyone for like 5 hours. Have you seen the local Valsenball game that just finished?
I don't keep up with sports.
You don't watch Valsenball? You don't know what you're missing, sir.
Well,
there was this
I
new.
better not be missing anything in this package. And he starts opening it up.
Oh, sorry, sir. And I'm just gonna like, just watching, looking in, like, oh, what'd you get?
Spotty parts.
Well,
actually,
yes.
So GM, you wanna
Okay.
jump in here.
Yeah. So Jay, you are engrossed in opening your package. You don't notice anything. But Matthias, you see movement out of the corner of your eye.
Okay. Now, which direction, real quick?
Left side.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of like sidle over to my right and basically engineer a situation in which Jay is now in between me and the direction where I thought I saw something.
Okay.
I'm not going to betray a damn thing. I'm just going to shuffle over and look down. I'm like, huh. And what's in this cooler? What am I looking at?
Human heart.
Oh. Is that for dinner?
No.
I'm just messing with you. I'm not that. And as I'm talking, I want to kind of subtly kind of keep positioning until he is completely in between me and the other. And I want to make it really subtle. I want it at no point, in no way do I want to make it obvious that I'm positioning him versus me.
Okay.
So if this is a roll, whatever.
No.
Okay. So I'm just kind of, I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. So I've got you have to have a bit of a strange humor to go give deliveries to medical facilities in the crack. What time is it?
He was saying it was evening.
And in the evening like this. I mean, normally I don't even take after-hours jobs like this, to be completely honest with you. It's the whole 11 a.m. or nothing kind of a thing. You know how most of the other delivery drivers are. Say, do you got any pizza there? That would be great right about now. And as I'm saying that, I'm making a point of looking around for the pizza. I want to basically make another check at what the hell's going on here.
You don't need to.
Okay.
You can see dozens of black-clad agents running up to the building.
Do I recognize like anything about them whatsoever?
These are Harmony agents.
Okay, now the player has to ask what a Harmony agent is real quick.
So remember how I was saying the mandate wants to ensure harmony?
Yep. They
have a basically it's a branch of private military. Think INS.
Oh, goody.
That are specifically for handling the dissenters and malcontents.
Okay. Does he see this too? I guess that's I'll start with that.
At this point, yes.
Well, I'm going to let Jay react first before I do anything. What's wrong?
Are you any good at hitting things?
I'm a delivery boy, so I don't know anything about. I'm lying through my teeth. I don't know anything about hitting things.
All right.
Although I would really go for a slice of pizza right now, and I'm just going to kind of start making my way away from the front desk.
Okay.
So Jay will push the heart into the package into his hands.
Something back here.
It says,
"Get away."
Come here for a second. He's going to head back to his lab.
Well, I guess since I'm ahead of you, I will go the same direction you're going.
All right. And assuming they haven't burst in, he's going to start taking some certain hard drives and smashing them on the desk.
Oh my God! What are you doing, sir?
Here, take this one, stomp on it or something.
No, God, I like let it clatter. No, I'm not destroying hard drives. Those are expensive, you know.
Hold on, don't touch this. It's very acidic. He pours some chemical concoction and starts.
I'm just like trying to get away as much as I can here. Meanwhile, I've actually been looking around for something bat-like or something that would qualify as a primitive weapon.
Okay.
Is there anything?
Do you want like a broom or a mop, or do you want something heavier that's more?
I would prefer heavier, but I'll live with what I can get.
Okay.
Because I'm in a freaking cloning lab.
Actually, you know what? Give me a strength roll.
So, this is actually my first time rolling for this system. So, if I'm not mistaken, I rolled 2d6, right?
No.
Okay.
Go into roll 20.
How do I do this?
All right. So, when you have your character sheet open,
character sheet.
You're going to go to athletics under skills,
which is the -1.
And you'll see the little die just to the right. Just click on that. It'll ask you what stat, strength.
Yeah. And I assume I'm not assisted because he's
Yes.
destroying hard drives. So
Yep.
I get a whatever that is,
So that's a 9.
which is a 9.
Now, for reference, the minimum to succeed is a 6.
Okay.
That's if it's a like generally easy task,
Okay.
and then modifiers from there.
Okay.
So with a 9, you are easily able to, I'm going to say, rip the handle off one of the
Well, I
cooler
don't actually
doors.
do it yet. I don't actually want to do it right now.
Okay, so
But I
there's
have located something I could rip off.
like the cooler door has a large handle that you could rip
Okay.
off.
Totally. So what I'm picturing is I'm going around like, oh my God. And in the midst of this, I kind of let my hand on it and kind of give it a little tug. Like, I think I could get that. And that's what I think to myself. Obviously, I don't
Sure.
say to this. And ZVJ Nation can't type right now. And so I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I'm just going to stay over there with my handle kind of resting on it. And basically at this point, I'm waiting for them to make their move.
Okay. And Jay, what are you doing?
Very flustered, by the way.
You're just destroying the hard drives and stuff.
I'm destroying the evidence.
Okay.
I mean, this is something I've been dreading.
Okay. So about a minute goes by since you got into the lab and started doing your
This is taking
destruction.
way too long. These
What's
guys
that?
are totally unprofessional.
Well, they are being tactical. They-
I should run up. I don't even have a gun, guys. Come on.
and an agent bursts through your door, followed immediately by several more, and someone that Matthias recognizes in an officer's uniform.
Mhm.
You recognize one of your, I'll say, Yakuza brothers.
Hang on, real quick. I looked to him like,
I say, help! This delivery man has destroyed my lab.
no, that is not what I do. I just wanted to gag. So I'm like, so I've still got my hand on the thing, which is now gripping it a lot tighter than it was a minute ago, by the way. And I'm like, and I immediately drop the delivery boy act, and I adopt another act. I'm like, Bob, whatever your name is, what are you doing here? Completely new way of talking. Bob, what are you doing here?
Father decided your usefulness was at an end.
My use? You're not here for Freak Boy. I mean, look at all the crap he's destroying.
I'm not the one holding the metal bar.
It's still attached.
I know.
I haven't actually done anything.
So Bob turns to the agents that are in the room. Take them both.
No. Okay, that's the moment where I do the strength check.
Okay.
Or athletics check, I should say, to rip this thing. Do I need to reroll it again?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. And I'm gonna. I know this is totally hopeless, but I'm going down swinging. So I'm going after whoever is nearest to me.
Okay.
That isn't Jay.
That isn't what?
That isn't Jay.
Oh, sure. Okay.
He's not a threat. I don't care about
Right.
him.
Okay.
What do I got? How terrible do I fail?
If you want to learn about combat, we can do a combat roll. Otherwise, we can just role play it.
I mean, I figured just role playing for now, since
Sure.
A, we've already been going for a while, and B, I have no hope of succeeding.
Well, I hate to railroad, but we are just doing the prelude to get to the game. So yes.
My general thinking was I would basically get my first hit off, like the surprise round equivalent of "Kah!" and then that would be all I ever got.
So I'm gonna say, I mean, you're fairly athletic, you're fairly combat oriented. You're gonna be doing some Jet Li martial arts, dodge and weave and beating people. So
I can't do much. I'm sitting, so I move the chair back a little bit. Like grab There we go. What's Jay doing while I'm doing
I'm
this?
sitting there watching you just stand in place doing this. Everybody else just stares.
Can I get like
No.
one good hit in, Guido? Can
Oh
you
yeah,
permit me
yeah.
that?
You
So-
take out 3 of them. No,
Okay,
no
I was
problem.
gonna say I really
Okay.
want this one move where I grab one of the agent's hands, and so pull his arm. So this is his arm right here.
Yeah.
And then his elbow goes the other way.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted like that one good hit in.
Okay. Yeah. You easily break his arm.
You know,
And
Jay's just watching.
I just want a lawyer.
you know, a couple of seconds later, about a dozen more agents swarm into the room and tackle you.
And Jay.
Well, meanwhile, the officer and one of the other agents have walked over to Jay. Are you going to come peacefully?
I just want a lawyer. And he'll hold his hands out like he's ready to come.
Okay. So they'll cuff you. They'll hog tie Matthias.
I guess it'd be more like this. I want to do a quick athletics check to see if I can break these things. Just real quick. Submit. Yes. 12.
Okay.
Now-
I can break these cuffs.
Here's what I want to happen. So I'm like, and I feel him start to give, and I stop. And what I want to do is basically make it so I could have my hands free at a moment's notice, but don't actually do that.
Okay. So what I'm going to say then is they don't cuff you per se. It's basically the equivalent of zip ties,
Oh, that's much worse. But okay.
but they've stretched out enough that you can actually, do
Okay.
something.
Got it. That's exactly what I want. Okay. Now we're going to be taking to Hank over there. He's actually the criminal mastermind of this whole campaign. I knew it.
So
All part of the plan.
you guys are being escorted out of the building. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Hank
Oh,
here really
okay.
quick. What are you doing meanwhile? You're on your farm?
I suggest chickens.
So, what time of day is it?
So if this is 7 p.m. ish on in New York, that would put it 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific Northwest.
Okay. So yeah, it's probably just going to be finishing up the standard chores and cleaning up for the day because I've already been out tending to the fields and just kind of going out and doing the perimeter check for varmints and any sort of predators that like to run through the farm, and then just thinking about finishing up for the day and bringing the equipment back into the shop for a final check before turning in for the day.
Okay. So now, are you driving or walking or what?
I'm walking for this
Okay.
particular portion, but
Okay.
the farm equipment is networked.
Right, but you said you were headed back to the shop.
Sorry, yes, I'm walking back after doing a perimeter check and just the general spots where varmints get in and stuff, and
Sure.
parasites and what have you.
Okay. So as you're walking back to the shop,
Mhm.
you see 3 black vehicles that are parked outside,
Okay.
totally
Do I
unmarked.
What's that?
They are totally unmarked.
Unmarked. Okay. All right. So, pull out my data pad and type in general notice prime twilight protocol. Enter,
Okay.
and then just continuing to walk up to the house.
Okay. Now
Do I see
explain
anybody
to me
out
what that's
outside?
going to do.
What's that?
What does Prime Twilight Protocol? What is that going to do?
Basically what that is kind of a fail-safe that, like, I know while I'm working for the man, at the same time I do still support the resistance, and as such, if I'm ever caught, found out, or attempted to be interrogated, my final act before I'm dragged away is I'm going to raise the farm. So basically, everything goes. It's a final protocol is initiate fire sale.
Okay.
I approve. I approve.
Okay.
It's a failsafe, but I primed it.
Okay. So you walk into the shop, and inside you can see several Harmony agents and a couple of Harmony officers. Some of them are searching through things that you have around the shop, your toolbox, and
Okay.
the harvesters, cockpit. I don't know what it, what
Typical
it'd be
like
called.
cabin for where you drive and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I can help you guys with. I can grab something to drink in the house. I got lemonade, beer. Anybody? You look kind of thirsty.
Henry Gunderson.
Present.
Would you mind coming down to the station and answering a few questions?
Sure. If you just give me a little bit of time to finish up. I'm just finishing up my rounds for the day. I gotta put a couple things away. If you guys got a minute, I mean, is this a rush?
We'd like you to come with us now.
Okay. Any particular element or topic we're going to be discussing?
We'll have some questions for you once we get down to the station.
Okay. And I'm assuming this is a requirement. Is that correct?
We'd like you to come peacefully.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Let me just go ahead and I just want to put my stuff on the table, if that's cool. Or
okay.
I mean, I realize we gotta go now, but
okay. As you're having this conversation, you are noticing that the agents are basically moving from where they were in the shop to more of a semicircle behind you.
Okay. So I'm in the room. They're behind me. Workbench is kind of off to the side, and I'm talking with someone who's telling me I got to go now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm keeping direct eye contact and attention with them. I'm assuming I can hear them behind me.
Yeah, they are not being subtle.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just so I'm sorry. I want to make sure that everything is kind of on standby. That way, if I'm not back before tomorrow, I have like some forwarding plans for somebody to come in, one of my assistants. No big deal. Just want to make sure I got the notes in here. Don't worry about it. So as I'm walking over, I queue up voice pattern recognition on the pad, and then go ahead and set it down on the tablet or on the workbench, and then kind of step back. I mean, I understand you guys are busy, but I'm not exactly sure, where the fire is. But if we got to go now, we go now. And as I say that,
it's the trigger word.
It's a trigger word, and it starts a countdown.
Oh, it starts a countdown, not an immediate. Okay.
No, it's a countdown.
Okay. All right. So they'll escort you back to one of the vehicles.
Okay.
And they're going to take you down to one of the local processing centers.
Okay. As we're leaving, the time ends, and basically the harvesting equipment basically empties the garage and fans out. It's like starts to fan out around the field, enters into the field, and then all trigger explosions, and basically raises the entire field.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask what your countdown was, but that's...
Yeah, it's basically just an initiation protocol to just liquefy the assets.
Okay. As you guys are leaving and the fields go up in flames, one of the officers that's sitting next to you is going to basically club you over the back of the head, and you black out.
Duh! I will not be denied.
All right.
All right.
So back to Matthias and Jay. So you guys are being taken in. Matthias, you're still hogtied with the zip ties.
Oh yeah, I'm going quietly though. I'm super cooperative.
Okay.
I ain't trying nothing. I already broke that guy's arm. I'm happy.
I'm assuming that Jay is being led by somebody physically right now.
Yeah. So the officer is still there. You're being escorted. You're being taken to an in-processing center.
Okay. I'll ask him, may I ask what this is actually about? Aren't I supposed to actually know what I'm being accused of?
So the officer is going to respond. I don't have that information, but you'll be informed once we get to processing.
Oh, and then he turns to the other guy who's been breaking arms. Says, "Do you hear that? They have absolutely no idea why they came here to arrest us. Interesting how that works."
I'm gonna chuckle in character and be like, "Yeah, I get the really weird feeling this is just a random raid on a random building, and they just grabbed whoever was there."
Yes, I know. When I go and do jobs, I have absolutely no idea why I'm doing that.
I do too. Every time, the other day I was told, "Here, just deliver this." He didn't tell me where or what or anything. I was just like, "Okay, sure." I went down around the street a couple times, found a nice person, gave him a present.
Says,
very
that's
professionally.
actually true. You have to be some kind of dolt to do it.
Well, the person I gave it to was pretty happy. But real quick, Guido, we're
Yeah.
like entering right now.
So one thing I am going to point out, and I'm not going to make you do a perception roll.
Okay.
Your friend Bob is smiling at you.
I am deliberately avoiding eye contact of any intent with him. Like, basically, I'm not ignoring him. I am devaluing him, if that makes any sense.
It does.
So, so I'm going to be like, yeah, just the other day, I remember, gosh, what was it? It was like 15 days ago, something like that. And I was told to give this little, it was like one of those Christmas toys, because, Christmas just happened. And you ever see one of those little wind-up dolls? They're the really, really old-fashioned kind. You wind them up for a bit, and then they take off, and then they fly around for a bit, and they could have the holographic matrix that makes an entire space battle. It's really cool. Have you ever seen one of those? I'm sorry, Mr. Reddy. Right? I'm Jonathan, by the way.
I'd shake your hand, but I can't.
I mean, you can. I'm just actually. You know what? Hang on. Since I'm behind you here, hang on, and I'm gonna like shuffle over for a little bit and protrude one of my hands just a little bit. I'm not actually pulling it out at all. I'm just being cheeky right now. And I offer my hand behind my back to shake him.
Okay. He just looks at it.
Right. I forgot that you have no social skills. You need to work on that, buddy. Come on.
The Harmony
okay.
agent is going to roughly push you back in line.
And that's perfect. That's exactly what I was waiting for. This is what I'm going to break out.
Okay.
So at the moment he does, I take the moment to go out, grab the guy's head. I'm going to go for
Sure.
As he's doing it, and basically I picture there's a wall right here.
Sure.
Wall right here.
Sure.
And this is his head, and that's the general goal here.
Okay.
Bam! And then I'm going to just stop. I'm not going to keep fighting, and then I'm going to be like, "Oh, I am so sorry." See, this is how professional they are. And I'm going to hold my hands up, just like, this is how professional they do all their jobs.
Meanwhile, several agents swarm you. You get tasered.
Not the first time today.
Do it again. I think he's still moving.
Hang on. Do they have helmets on?
Basically, they're wearing the equivalent of light riot gear.
So I probably didn't crack that guy's skull.
Doesn't mean it fits well.
There's a nice dent. I just wanted there to be a dent then. Can I get a dent?
Oh, yeah. The helmet's dented, too.
Bam! There we go. Oh, that's satisfying. That was worth the tase.
You're going to have a rap sheet 10 miles long after this is over, my man.
You're the one who's... Actually, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Why are you in here?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, right. Neither of us do. I'm defending myself, and you're a scientist. I actually imagine I'm on the ground, just freakishly tased as I'm laughing about this.
Meanwhile, I'm making notes on how I'm thinking about how I could better build up a body to resist electricity.
I knew it. All right, so I'm going to continue to cooperate. I'll be re-zip tied.
Okay. All right, so they're going to take you through processing. I'm kind of skipping ahead, but they're going to inform you what you're being charged with.
Which is?
Jay, you're being charged with the illegal research into the cloning and...
You were a cloner?
I vehemently deny it. They have no proof.
You You were a Camino?
Mm-hmm.
Someone get that, please.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
From Star Trek.
Exactly. Damn it.
No swearing. All right, yeah. He vehemently denies it. Like, they have absolutely no proof.
Oops. We're back to
Nothing they can possibly do to prove that he's been doing things like this. He's just a simple researcher.
And they're going to go through pages and pages of notes and start pointing out flaws in your story.
It's like, not mine. I don't even know how to do that. Fine. Oh, my lawyer. Oh, my phone call.
Matthias, they're going to... so you're being charged with delivery of illegal goods.
Oh! And that is my character's reaction to that. It's just...
On
really?
several counts. On several counts.
That's what you're going with. That, really?
And... several assaults, and basically...
Am I still zip tied right now?
No, they would have taken you out of the zip ties for the interview.
Is there someone in hand's reach?
Probably.
I can't, guys. Guys in chat, should I do it? Should I do it?
You want to make another character?
I don't know why I'm being charged with assault. Is this just what I was going to do there?
But basically, your friend Bob has given them your entire history of what you did for the Yakuza.
Wow, that's impressive. I don't remember that. When was that? Hang on, what else? And I actually grabbed the pad. I know it's not paper. But throw it. Jesus. Oh, that was some good memories. I remember that one. That one was good too. Check this out. I turned to Jay. This one, I actually put the baseball bat in the guy's mouth and made him hold it there for a second, and then that was a good one. What else we got here? Oh, sorry. You want your pad back? Here you go, sir.
Anything else?
No, I
Chat's
think
telling you to do it, so
everyone in chat is telling me to do the one last assault. So just for fun, I think we'll vary it up for a bit. So I'm gonna go right for the solar plexus.
Okay.
Just one solid punch into there as hard as I possibly. In fact, I'll do a strength roll or whatever for this. What do I roll?
Normally I'd have you do an actual attack roll, but I'm not going to deal with that. Just do the athletics.
Okay, one more athletics roll. Come on, give me something really high. 2.
Oh, that's a fumble.
Oh, so what
yourself.
happens?
You break your fist.
On what exactly?
So, like I was saying, that they're basically wearing light riot gear.
Okay. So yeah, I aim badly and I don't like do the twisting like I'm supposed to do. So it just goes, and I just sit there for a second. I actually have a huge pain tolerance. So I just kind of, I'm not showing anything. I'm just sitting here with this blank expression on my face. And after a few seconds, I'm like, okay, I'm better.
So they're going to escort you through the interview room and take you down to holding.
Real quick, as we're being escorted, I'm gonna lean over to Jay. Can you clone human hands?
Actually, yes.
Perfect. I'm glad to meet you here. And I offer to shake his hand with my bad hand, immediately withdraw it and put up my other hand.
He gives an awkward high five.
I like you. Ready? So
Oh, I thought that's what
we
you
are
wanted.
in holding now. Well, there's this gentleman. Actually, I don't know if that's true.
Again, I'm gonna skip ahead here. So
Yep.
you guys are being taken from holding to a landing pad.
Okay. This is unusual. I've managed to cry through most of the pain by now. I'm good. I'm good.
They give you a stim pack. You're healed.
Oh, awesome. This is wow. I'm not going to make that joke I was about to make because that's real life stuff I don't want to talk about.
Want to be so much better if your hand hadn't broken in the first place.
Oh, yeah, probably. Reddy over there is just like, and I'm just like, oh, God, thank God.
So Hank, you wake up in the holding area, and like I said, you're we're skipping ahead, and you are also being escorted along with several people and this this guy who looks like he's wearing a lab coat and UPS driver.
Okay. So, what do you two gentlemen? What sort of agricultural catastrophes have you done to bring you here to this particular holding station?
Well, I can't keep the plants in my office watered when they die.
That is an offense. And how about you, my delivery friend?
I deliver packages.
Yes, that's tough to grow plants that way. I can see why we're here. Anybody else? Anybody?
They told me there'd be candy.
You have to excuse him. He's a little slow on the uptick. He's just a delivery man. He actually knocked his head and changed his accent completely a couple days ago.
That's fun.
I'm assuming you're here with some BS accusation as well.
Don't know.
Actually, they. So I was just going to mention.
Okay.
They do go through the interview with you, where they explain that they have evidence that you have been
supporting the insurrection.
Well, yeah, I was going to say using the historical reference of Underground Railroad.
Oh, okay.
So you've been supporting and helping the dissenters and insurrectionists, and so that's what you've been accused of.
Of course, you don't have to tell us that.
So yeah, it looks like apparently I threw a barbecue for the wrong people, and apparently they were unhappy with my particular version of barbecued corn on the cob. So here I am.
Did you not put enough butter on it?
You know, you can't put enough butter on it. You try, but you can only do
that
so
is
much.
true. I found that myself. I was asking him. He's a scientist guy. I figured he'd know how to put, just the right kind of butter. Maybe a little bit hollandaise sauce. Do you think that would go good with corn?
Just lay on my back and put my arms over my face.
It's good, but you don't want to overdo it. You want to get the right seasoning as a hint, but not a covering.
Yeah, it's the moderation that's key. Most people don't understand that. They get a vat and then just go.
No, see, I mean, maybe that's what they wanted, and that's why I'm here. They didn't like my version of the recipe.
That could be. We need to fix these people. I'm telling you what.
My only question is, how are you putting butter on the corn when it's on the barbecue, when the corn is still in the husk?
You've never done that?
Trade secret, my friend. Trade secret.
Come on. All you need to do is have osmosis butter.
Right.
Or
magic.
Or what if I grew the corn with the butter already in it?
Guys, we've put butter DNA into corn. That's how Hollywood works, so it's true.
You're just fertilizing it with butter.
Yes. It's
problem
either
solved.
that or bacon grease.
I'll put him say, now I actually know why you're in here for crimes against humanity.
Congrats, Shadow Machine, by the way. So yeah, I'm going to, over the course of however long this journey is, I'm going to make it a point to not give any actual information on myself to either of these people.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep up the delivery boy snarking, but I'm trying not to be irritating. That's not the persona I'm using right now.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
obviously in a bad mood and trying to laugh it out.
cool. So as you are being escorted to the ship that's on the landing pad, using another reference from Star Trek, do you remember?
Yes.
I know you do, but
whatever it is, the answer is yes.
I don't remember which movie it is. It's one of the Next Generation movies. It's the one that has the ribbon.
That's
Generations.
Okay.
Star Trek 7.
So, as you are walking towards this ship that's on the landing pad, you hear first this keening sound that you can't quite identify.
I immediately look to Jay to see if he's snoring. Ready.
Would this be something I might be familiar with, like this particular
The sound?
phenomena?
No.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I mean, no.
Okay. All right.
I'm not even going to ask. I have no idea what this thing is.
Well, so I'm not to that point yet. The sound is getting louder. And
I'm going to pretend I don't hear it. I'm just going to be like,
no matter where you're looking, you're going to see someone who is looking off into the distance, pointing with a horrified look on their face.
I think they saw your corn.
Are they all looking in the same direction?
They're all looking in the same direction, yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're going to turn and look.
Yes.
No.
Quickly run towards the danger.
You turn and look, and you see on the horizon what looks like fire.
I turn away.
And the keening is getting louder and louder. And within seconds, this the fire that was in the distance is probably 100 kilometers away. Another second, and it passes over you. And you feel a sense of disorientation and this buzzing of electricity.
Not the bees. Not the bees. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ruin the moment, I swear.
The keening you can now identify as screaming. As this wave passes over you, you can see around you hundreds of people that are bent over in pain. And some of them, you can tell, are just dead. Some of them are bent into absolutely unnatural positions. Some of them, there's blood just running out of their ears and their eyes, and some of them have melted. People are just screaming.
Okay, and is there any sort of direction away from this that, like,
it's already passed over us.
It's already passed over.
so it's already basically you just see this flash of event horizon gut wrenching reality as
Pretty
it
much.
passes by.
Yes.
Actually, I'm sorry, real quick.
No,
What
go
are
ahead.
we in?
What?
What are we in? I'm sort
Uh,
of mentally picturing like a transit.
no, you're not in a transit. You're just walking.
We're just walking. They were literally just shoving us along the ground. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
How have our guards reacted to
Yes,
this?
that is my second question.
Some
What
of
are they
them are
doing?
dead.
Oh.
Those that are not are drawing weapons, and they're starting to shove you towards the ship.
Ugh. Hmm.
What the
Will
hell?
the GM let me grab a weapon and take it with me into the future? I'm just going to ask this as plainly out of character as I can.
To take it into the future?
You get where I'm going. Okay, the idea in character, which is where I came up with the idea first, is weapon. Just
If you
defense.
grab a weapon, then the Harmony agents are probably going to react poorly.
Okay, so
because you are still a prisoner.
In that case, my gut reaction, again, in character, is going to be grab for weapon, and then I'm going to realize that these are wonderful people, and I'm just going to go with them. I'm not going to say a damn thing at this point.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to try and hurry them along because I want to get the blazes out of here right now.
Yeah, yes. I'm kind of on that boat as well.
Okay. So you are
also
being ushered onto the ship, and you're not fighting going onto the ship.
No,
I want to get out of here.
No, time to go.
Okay.
Yep.
We are leaving.
The GM has succeeded at putting the target destination over there, and we're going towards it as fast as possible.
Okay.
I do not want to be on this place right now.
All right. So you guys all get onto the ship. The guards get everything situated. You are all basically packed into very large and accommodating, like airline seats, for lack of a better definition.
Okay.
Description. And the ship is going to take off. You know, it's granted it's going to take a while, but the ship is going to take off.
Yeah.
As the ship is leaving atmosphere, you feel through your seat impacts in the ship. Alarms start blaring.
You know what? Hang on. I have a slightly more appropriate song for this.
Put my head in between my knees and brace.
I'm not, because I think we're dead.
So is there an appropriate spacesuit / parachute equivalent that's
so
around?
On that note, what's going to happen is your seat is going to go from the sitting position into upright.
Okay.
And it's going to have a plexiglass, not actually plexiglass, but
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it essentially
There it
you
is.
are encased basically in a capsule.
Okay.
And seconds later, you are unconscious.
Oh, great. Again.
Damn it. I don't like being unconscious.
No, it's counterproductive.
Transparent aluminum. Well, not quite, but
I mean, we're working on that in real life now. So
yeah.
Maybe. Okay, so we are now unconscious. And probably dead. Horribly dead.
Congratulations, end of campaign.
Yes! Fastest campaign ever. All right, I'm ready to roll my new character. For my next...
In the darkness, you hear a voice.
Escape.
Almost like a dream kind of thing.
With that, you're going to wake up.
Oh. Now, my first thought here, because I can't say this out loud, is this is actually the day I woke up to go do this delivery. And that was all just a really messed up dream. Like the whole thing, the delivery, beating up people, being awesome, you know, the end of the world. All of that.
As your pod opens and you start to regain consciousness.
Oh, God.
Oh, how do we get back in my lab?
Is that breakfast? I know my nose is stuffed, but I'm sniffing. You know, do I smell breakfast? I'm still like barely with it.
I'm just following rules.
Okay. I'm gonna like slowly. I still haven't cognated where I am. I'm just slowly getting up. And like in my actual little hut, there's like a bed thing right here. So I go to reach over for the alarm, which isn't there. Grab my mug, which isn't there. And I start doing this in character because there's no mug, obviously. Just
I stumble out and start to retch. Like,
from what you see or from waking up from cryo?
why choose?
Well, that's
A little column A, a little column B.
okay. That's fair.
I'm gonna very, very slowly pull myself out of the pod. Gonna swing my legs over, stand up, stretch, and then I'm gonna start looking for my cup. So I just kind of start pawing around, bleary-eyed, looking for my morning coffee. Wipe the blood off of my shirt.
So there's no blood on you. You're clean.
I know. My point is paw. Oh, hang on. Paw.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it wet? I should actually ask that. Is it wet blood?
There are places that it is still wet, but most of it is very dry.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just pawing around. I'm barely noticing. Just whatever. It's got to be something around here. Anything over there? What are you doing in my home or my house? I say to Hank.
This you really need to clean up if this is your house. Oh man.
Okay. You're right. That's on me. My bad. I'm apparently a terrible host. When did I?
Oh.
And this is about when I noticed Jay over there. What are you doing, Third?
Jay is just on his knees off in some other world, just looking around furiously, like he can't really process.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
know.
I'm gonna see Jay, and the sight of Hank and Jay is what's gonna finally start cleaning my brain a little bit. And I'm just gonna go quiet for a minute while I process this.
Okay.
Are we still in what we were wearing when this all went down?
Yeah. So it was in the holding cells. Basically, they gave you the hardy.
Okay.
What did I call it?
Old
Hardy
Terra.
old Terran clothes, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're in our vault suits.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
it's basically a vault suit, for lack of a better description.
Okay. So Jay will finally stumble up and look around, and turn back to the pod, and try and figure out where exactly they are. Just like looking around.
Okay.
Like anything he recognizes, anything.
I'm going to go ahead and give this to you because of your medical background. This is a chop shop.
Mm.
Basically, you can see body parts, some very old, some newer, that are on the cutting table, on workbenches. It's gory.
Not using proper health and safety procedures either. Oh. Okay. You'll immediately check for scars.
There are no scars on your body, other than any that you had started with, if you had any.
So he'll glance over at the two other ones, looking around, and say, I'm not exactly sure what kind of prank is being pulled here, but I don't suppose you two know why in the world we're in an organ harvesting room.
As soon as he says organ harvesting room, I'm going to start looking around for something to arm up with. Scalpel, bone saw.
Okay.
You know, liposuction vacuum. I don't know. You know, what have you.
Let me ask, What's Matthias doing?
I'm staying silent until you finish talking to him, basically.
Well, right, but what's going to happen is going to be dependent on what you're doing.
So I'll go ahead and pop up at this point. As I'm looking around, I'm going to say, this isn't my room.
Very astute.
I look back as if I'm questioning your sanity.
I still don't think it is. I would also like to do a perception check at this point.
Okay.
To
What are you looking for?
something heavy.
You're looking for something
Looking for
heavy?
something baseball bat-like.
Okay. Yeah, there's going to be metal pipes and other, miscellaneous stuff.
I didn't want to go
around.
off the picture too much, but for example, I could see like this overhang thing on the over the chair, which looks like it'd be perfect for just.
Sure. Yeah.
So
you see Hank looking around, searching the area.
okay.
The reason why I mentioned that is that the emergency pods that you have been in from the transports contain survival packs. Hank, you would not know that, being your history
A
as
simple
a farmer.
farmer.
Right.
Well, I'm not evil, I swear. So I'm chaotic neutral. Thank you very much. No. So I'm going to turn around and check really quick if one is in mine, the one I'm standing right next to.
Your pod is still secure, so it still has its survival pack.
Okay. Real quick, is this just like rations, meds, rope, right? I mean, just
Yeah, think like a D&D Adventurer's pack.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was meant right there. So I'm going to go ahead and glance down there. And how far away is his pod from where I'm currently standing?
About 10 feet.
I'm going to very casually, again, no intimation, kind of sidle in that direction and glance in at his pod.
It is still secure, and that would indicate that his pack is still there as well.
Okay. Is this just for flavor? Is this something I could literally strap to my back?
Yeah, it's basically a heavy backpack.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and saunter back to mine, grab my pack, put it on my back, debate for a second. I'm going to say, shoot, I didn't get your name, sir. The corn farmer.
My
My name's Jonathan, by the way. Sorry. So, Hank.
Good to meet you, Jonathan.
If I could give a quick suggestion, and you too, Mr. Reddy, you might want to check your pods for something that looks kind of like this. And I kind of tug the thing on my back right now.
Okay.
Oh,
I stop what I'm doing and I go over and check mine.
Yeah, you can see where the packs are stored. Yours is there.
Okay.
Jay, same with you if you are checking your pod.
yeah. After some contemplation, he'll go over there and check.
I mean, you don't have to trust me on this. I'll take it if you don't want it. No, but
no, he'll grab it and then look back towards the chop shop area. Are those? Do they actually have computers here that are operable?
There are no computers in the lab. There are no computers in the survival packs.
Okay. I'm going to go back to grabbing something heavy.
Okay.
And now that I've found the pack in the pod, I'm ransacking the pod to see if there's any sort of other nooks and crannies that I missed, and to kind of sort of trying to figure out how it works and how it has extra compartments I missed.
Okay. There's not going to be any kind of additional compartments.
Okay.
It's basically the emergency evacuation pod from the ship.
Okay.
So.
I'm guessing there is some doorway out of here.
I'm guessing there's not a person standing in it with their shadow.
No, that person's not there.
That would be
I've been here the whole time.
Funny. What are you people doing? Have I succeeded in procuring something heavy?
Sure. Yeah. It'll be
Just
an
like a-
improvised weapon.
just a-
Yeah.
Plank or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So Jay will say to both of them, I'm not quite sure where this is, but if we're in a chop shop of some sort, they won't be happy seeing their potential patients running around. Our best bet is to get out of here as fast as possible and alert the authorities, even though they are.
I'm sorry. Real quick, you want us to alert the authorities that put us in here?
I didn't say we had to stick around.
Do you have another like identicard under there I didn't notice that you could use to call in?
No, I don't.
Actually,
I'm
that's a
sure.
good question. Do we have our identicards at all?
It's probably not.
Imagine
They
they're
probably
back
took
in
I
it.
was just saying
processing.
we might not have. Yeah, they might have taken them back in processing.
Yeah.
Says, well, I'm not really sure about you, but I would prefer being in the custody of authorities rather than somebody who's going to slice my stomach open and steal my heart.
Either way, I think leaving's probably a great idea right about now.
Yeah, I'm already actually making my way.
Yep.
Well, actually, that's a good question. What are our exits, GM?
You
Damn it,
have
Harriet.
an exit to the south and to the east.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got to bring this up because Horian actually asked a good question. Oh, you already answered it. Never mind. I'm sorry. I completely missed that.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering if these pictures were actually from the GM thing.
No.
So south. And
Thank you,
east.
Google.
Yeah. Google
So handy.
Chop Shop. There you go.
I think
Okay,
I did
so-
bloody medical lab or something.
Well, there's plenty of those.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Just
pictures
British,
too.
just British
Um,
people complaining about medical labs.
Yes.
Um,
So, okay, south and east.
Yes.
Anything to differentiate them at all from my perspective?
No.
Okay, one moment. I think we should go through the east one.
Okay.
Good as exit
all
as
right. I looked down the east one. I'm hoping there isn't like death machines in the way.
I tell you what, you go first, Mr. Ready, and I've got the the whatever. And I'm like, I'm pretty much braced, like readying an action effectively for a swing.
Fine, but let's be quiet.
I can be quiet.
So the passage is basically a well, not basically. It's a starship corridor,
Okay.
and the lights are flickering in the losing power, coming back, losing power, coming back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect people who run a chop shop to know how to properly maintain their electrical equipment.
Are there any windows in this hallway?
No,
Ooh, good question.
Okay.
Is there any things I could kill in this hallway? Other
there is
than
nothing
Freddy.
to attack.
Other
Okay.
than ourselves.
Other than
We're in a-
ourselves.
We're in a
I'm
maze
actually
of
the traitor,
twisty.
guys. I'm sorry. I've been
Oh,
no. So I'm gonna.
You said you're going carefully, though, right?
yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it takes about 10 minutes to pass through the hallway into the next room. Rows of restraint boards stand upright in this room, each one a smooth ceroplast panel with bindings for a prisoner. The stink in this room is unusually strong from dead corpses.
Are there?
Look for any alive corpses. No.
Are there any?
What does it look like
currently
they've been?
present?
Yeah, that's a good question. What does it look like they've been doing? Just like mutilating corpses, or is this another harvesting room, or what exactly have they been doing here?
So this is basically where they are throwing the bodies after they've chopped them up.
So there are lots of corpses in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there another exit from this room other than the one that we came in?
There is an exit to the south, and so the exit you came through, which would be to the west, and an exit to the east.
So south and east.
I really don't want to linger in this room.
Yeah, I'm all for moving through as quickly as possible since it's very disconcerting to begin with, and I really don't want to vomit more.
I'm gonna nominate East again.
Okay.
Okay.
And you should go first, Mr. Reddy.
Yes. So I do.
I gotta be honest though, I wouldn't want to deliver any packages to this place. I'd be cleaning the muck out of my clothes for days. Ugh.
These are the people they should be arresting, not people trying to make a better future.
So again,
The
it
corpse.
takes about 10 minutes to traverse
Yeah,
the corridor. Same bad lighting. And you come to another chamber that is huge.
Okay.
You could probably easily fit a 3-bedroom house in this chamber.
Okay.
Summer home.
You did say you wanted to build one.
Yeah.
A tremendous roaring noise fills the air, echoing from a waterfall that spurts from the eastern wall. Starts about 10 meters up, where a crack has given entrance to a river.
Oh, goody. Yeah, I take it the room is filling.
Yeah, there are puddles of a murky, churning liquid on the south side of the room. You can hear the groan of the ship's drainage pumps as they are like bilge pumps through the floor.
Any other exits from this room other than the crack?
So, continuing with a bit of a description here, on the north side of this room, vast tanks of tarnished old Terran metal rise from the ceiling 15 meters overhead.
Okay.
Go ahead and each of you give me a perception check.
Oh, I'm good at those.
I am terrible at this.
By good at those, I mean at a -1.
There it is.
I'm assuming
It's
intelligence
wisdom.
is the
Wisdom.
Is it int? Oh, it's wisdom.
oh
Yep.
wisdom. Okay.
Perception will always be wisdom.
Okay.
I got not too bad.
Not too bad. Wow.
If you, I can't see anything compared to you guys.
Matthias, you can see a shiny liquid which seems to be dripping out of the tanks.
Okay. I immediately drink it all.
Hank and Jay.
That's me.
You can actually see that. So these are very large tanks of some kind, and you can see cracks in the tanks like a spider web. And you also see the silver liquid coming out from the cracks.
I said, this must be where we refill our source points. Is this any particular type of liquid I'm familiar with at a glance, or do I have any idea what this is?
Would you
Would any of us? Probably not.
I mean, I know I have nothing to actually analyze it with, but I'm just going off of looks and smell alone.
what tech skills do you have?
I have tech. I have Maltech, medical, and pre-tech.
I have pre-tech as well.
Give me a pre-tech roll.
Okay.
Can I?
And that's going to be intelligence.
Can I do it as well?
Yeah.
Okay. There's.
Wow.
But you did roll a 6, which is the minimum.
And he got a friggin' 11.
He got
and
a
he
friggin'
got
11.
11. So
Uh,
I continue to be the dumb one of the group.
yeah, you're pretty sure this has something to do with science.
Perfect. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna persuade my friend. I'm gonna say, so you're a pretty good scientist, right? I mean,
I'm the best
you're
in biomedical research.
So you could do like the quick taste smell test, right? Figure out what that is.
We haven't done that for centuries.
Well, I don't see a biomolecular scanner around here.
Well, normally what happens if we don't know what something is, we don't taste it. We put a warning label on it and leave it alone.
That's actually not true in real life.
That's the problem.
That is the problem. I mean, you guys know how we invented artificial sugar, right? Or sweetener, you know?
I don't know
So
what sort of lab that you come from, but that's the way we work at mine.
Anyways,
so Cadiz and Jay, or I'm sorry, Hank and Jay, you both rolled well enough on this that you know exactly what these tanks are.
Uh-oh.
These are nanite holding tanks.
Ah, okay.
I'll do the taste test.
No, don't worry about it. You just be putting tiny robots in their mouth. We
Oh,
use
they're
these some.
nanite.
Yes, we use these sometimes for
I've heard of those.
medical tissue repair.
I look at my hand.
Of course, they have to be programmed.
Oh,
How close are you getting to the tanks?
I haven't moved an inch towards this
Well,
tank.
I mean, I assume that. So Jay would probably be like, "Oh, they're just nanites, probably just unprogrammed sludge in the tank." So he's like, "Oh, whatever, there's fine."
Yeah, it's great.
So it's just regular. It's fine. So I mean, he's not going over there to rub his face against it, but he's just gonna,
Okay.
you know, I mean, he'll take a couple steps and just motion towards it like he's trying to make some sort of presentation and impress people with his knowledge.
You do notice when you step into the room that as you get closer to the tanks, there's kind of a haze around them. It's
Okay.
not foggy, but there's kind of a mist.
Now, you mentioned earlier on the tanks that there was like a spider webbing of like cracks.
Yes.
Okay. At this distance, can I tell whether or not they're like that's just happened over time or it's about to rupture? Like, should we be moving away from the danger?
Are you going to walk towards the danger? I mean,
No, that's why I'm like, can I see from this distance and do kind of a general assessment on like the structural, you know, durability of what's currently containing these nanites?
You're pretty certain that it's just it probably had some damage. Well, it could have been damaged when the ship was taking damage when it was taking off.
Okay.
But what you're seeing, you are fairly certain, is the result of time.
Okay. Like the propagation of rust over time.
Exactly.
Something similar to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is fascinating, but this doesn't help us get out.
I was going to say, did we ever see any additional exits to this room?
This room, no, there are no additional exits, just the way that you came in.
Okay. Chat, should I do something stupid?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. What do you
Doing
think?
something
If you
stupid
have
in
to
a live
ask.
stream D&D show
I'm just-
increases the audience count.
I mean, I do need that audience count.
Yeah.
Tongue adventures.
Is he gonna put there? He's gonna put.
Everyone donate for characters to do stupid stuff.
No, don't do that. They'll actually do that. Don't
Dead
joke.
in no time.
Okay, so I'm not going to be amazingly stupid, but I am going to be stupid because I don't know any of this stuff. Nanites and cloud, I don't know that. So I'm breathing really heavily, like I'm really nervous, you know, kind of getting the.
Wait, you're actually moving closer to the tanks?
And I'm getting right up next to no, I'm not actually moving close to the tanks. I have no reason to. But
Okay.
But I am breathing heavily to inhale any haze that might be in the room.
You're not close enough.
There. Damn it.
There doesn't happen to be any leftover labeling that we can see. I may not read it, but see just any descriptions of what.
Oh, I'll
could
go
be.
look. Then I walk closer.
All right.
Okay.
I have my excuse.
Okay.
Let's send the muscle to go examine the nanites.
Mm-hmm.
because the scientists are too smart to do that. So yeah, I will walk towards the tanks.
I mean, it should be
I'm
fine.
still-
They're
I'm still being pretty cautious, by the way. So this is not like a jaunt. I'm kind of edging over.
it should be fine. They're dormant. Even if you breathe a few in, nothing's going to happen.
Breathe a few in.
It happens all the time.
Well, I guess that makes sense in hindsight. Do I need to go to like super exciting, dangerous music yet? Because what's about to happen?
Well, so
Hang on, let me
nothing's
cue
going
it
to
up.
happen immediately.
I've got it
However,
ready.
as you're walking closer, as you get closer to the tanks, you are also closer to the pools.
Mhm.
And you can see movement in the pools.
Define movement. Like, is this I see fish ripples, or there's like Cthulhu in there, or what?
think
Tentacle
really,
pops out.
really, really big fish.
These are bigger pools than I thought they were.
There's always the bigger fish.
You couldn't tell the size from the entry,
Okay.
but yeah, these are. It's not just surface level water; these are deep pools.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna turn to my good man Hank there and say, in addition to corn, did you ever do any work with fish?
No, the fish hatchery was down the road. That was
But
someone
you
else's.
never did the trick where like you put fish and then you grow corn on the fish. You ever did that?
No, that's a little bit outside my functionality.
Mr. Reddy, did you ever clone fish?
Clone fish?
Fish.
No.
They're little aquatic creatures. They've got like fins and dorsal.
I
ventral.
realize what fish are. That's been I haven't done it, but that's been happening for quite some time. Yes.
Cloning. Okay, so you don't know anything. So you couldn't like help me to identify very large fish that are in this room, for example.
What are you getting at?
Can I describe any of these fish to them? Like,
Is there something you want me to come look at?
orange. I think I see a few teeth. Some stripes. One of them's a clownfish. His one fin is too small though.
How close are you getting to the pool?
What can I tell from where I am right now?
Well, how far away are you?
20 I
feet?
suppose that's a good question. Let's say 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay.
I've got the tension music ready to go for when they eat me alive. And I re-roll a T-Rex.
So as they catch your eye and you actually stop and look, you can see what looks like a face looking back at you.
A human face?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, I've got a few more details for you. Fish, roughly whatever size they are, roughly whatever color they are.
It's human sized.
Roughly human sized, give or take. Also, it's got a face. There's a nose. Looks kind of Asian, I think. I'm not sure.
So it's an Asian fish.
It's getting
is what you're
closer
trying
to the
tell me.
surface.
It's an Asian fish. It's right there. See, you can. It's
I don't understand what you're. Let me just go look.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk over that.
Okay.
Just trying to describe it to you guys.
So if you guys are approaching, you can see the same thing. It's essentially a human size thing with a human-ish face. As you look closer, you can see several of them deeper down in the pool, and one of them is looking right at you.
Do you Mr. Reddy, do you know how to make an electrical thing go in there to electrify all of them? Is that a thing you know how to do?
Oh, here, look. No, what? Why
I'm just
would you want to do
curious.
that?
No
And-
reason. I'm just curious because I want them all to die, and
Why?
because because this fish is imperfect.
So Guido, is there an equivalent of a coolness check?
That's a good question.
I'm just like, after what we've seen, what we've been through, and then the continuing escalation of weird, this is way past farming.
I mean, for me, this is officially approached weird for even my character, and I beat up people for a living.
Yeah, so that'd basically be a mental save.
Okay. How do I do
I'll
that?
I'll do one too.
Just go to your character sheet and click on the die near the mental save.
18 versus 15. I
It's
succeed.
hard to press.
Okay, I succeed. I don't know if he succeeds.
He does.
Okay, it doesn't tell me his success apparently.
So yeah, this is weird.
So hang on. So we're a no on the electric plan.
No, I don't really know what kind
Okay, I run
species.
for the door.
Okay.
Don't tell. I'm getting out of this room.
Yeah, I'm inclined to follow.
Okay.
Where are you
Okay,
going?
you are now standing by the fish people alone.
Okay.
When they eat you, you can reroll the T-Rex.
Okay, so he looks oddly at the people leaving and then squints for a closer look at these things, but then decides to pursue this later and
The one-
casually.
The one that's looking back at you is licking its lips.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
I don't see that. I'm
Jesus.
over at the door
He's
by
like-
now.
Huh. Okay. Because you think it's just some animalistic type thing, and he
I have.
he turns around, just casually walks back towards the fleeing companions.
See that next time. So I'm gonna get back to the hallway, and I'm gonna collect myself for a second. Why don't we try the south door?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a plan.
I'm gonna grab my giant plank of metal here, and we're gonna edge our way. So west once, and then south once.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I've actually been sketching it out as we go here.
There's nothing else running. Like, no one's streaming. No one's running a microwave. Someone had a dead chicken. They were waving over something. That might have been it. I don't know.
Arise, chicken.
So, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wait. You're the main character from Transformers 4?
Good God, no. I haven't seen that, and already I don't
Oh,
like
you
it.
haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
There
Wait, is
was
that-
only actually one Transformers movie, and it was animated. It was very well done.
It was. Although someone died in it, and I was very sad. Sorry.
Flashbacks.
Was that the butler?
What was that?
Question for Lore. The Tinkerer. Was that the butler?
No. That's in Transformers 5. I'm
Oh.
referring to. I can't even think of the actor's name. If you give me a second.
Nah, it doesn't matter then. Doesn't matter.
Nope. It's happening.
Must find.
It's happening. Yeah, Age of Extinction. What's his frickin' name? Because you're gonna recognize the actor as soon as I say him. Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
Wait, he was a
Mark
butler.
Wahlberg's character is
Mark.
in fact, his
Tinkerer.
character
Oh,
line is
right,
a
right.
single father and struggling inventor.
Okay.
He's the guy who somehow tinkers his way into repairing Optimus Prime.
that's a hell of a roll 20.
It's a really dumb movie.
All I had to do was add gasoline to me. That's it.
Yeah, it's just spit shine. There we go. He's good, guys.
All right.
Anyways, I'm sorry for interrupting. Can I do that?
So, Guido, the first person in the scenario who refers to me as Ryder or anything even closely remotely to Ryder gets a shotgun blast to the face. Just saying that right now.
I.
Understood.
Okay.
Are you the
good.
Pathfinder?
No, that's not better.
Didn't say Ryder.
It's true. I followed the rules.
All right.